ready? Yeah. So, put my bag first. Clothing, food, toothpaste, detergent. Alright, I think that's everything. Alright, well then, let's get in the truck and let's go. Alright, alright. Now you're excited, so let's get on the road. You, wanted to go to McDonald's first for breakfast? Yeah. Alright, let's go. Hey, name friends. You may be thinking, what exactly is going on here? Well, I'll tell you. 20 years ago, I went on a massive, breathtaking journey to a place just north of my home state, an awesome summer camp that I'll never forget. Of course, nowadays that place goes under a different name, is under different management, and is owned by a different group of people. But 20 years ago, it was a place that I thought would be a second home. Well, kind of. Of course, it was a year-round retreat center that also doubled as a summer camp, but you see where this is going, right? Morning started off like any other morning with some vacation era of my childhood. You know, waking up, usually at this time I'd be getting ready for church. And a Christian after all. But this was different. Normally during the week I'd get ready to go to daycare. But this, again, was different. Instead, all I had to do was get dressed, put on deodorant, brush my teeth, get ready to go on a huge road trip. A road trip that I will never forget. So, what's a kid to do after they get dressed and, get ready to go? First, I had to make sure that my bag was fully packed and everything. Of course, this is my first time that I had ever been on a trip like this, so it may not have been perfect, but I had everything that I needed to have, including a sleeping bag, luggage, and everything else in between. So, and a little bit of spending money for the lunchtime and the actual store at the camp. More on that at a later point. But let's get going. First stop after leaving our house was McDonald's. That's what, that was a place that my papa and I always ate at every single time I was about to go. Except one year, I think that was 2008 or 2007. Don't quite remember, but yeah, let's be honest. The breakfast that I had that year was it was good, but it was from a different place. If you've ever heard of Dickie's Barbecue, then that's exactly what I was talking. It didn't really last that long. Plus, McDonald's is better anyway in terms of breakfast. Of course, this was also way before they did that big makeover on the buildings that made it look like, you know, some kind of weird midlife crisis thing. So, After we got done eating breakfast, which didn't take too terribly long, then it was off to the races. All we had to do was get to the church and get ready to go. It's worth noting that the gameplay that you're seeing here, this is evening, but the time that we would have left from church to go to camp would actually be 9:30 in the morning, which is uh, obviously not the time at all in this game. But let's be real here, time progresses in this game very differently from real life. So I'm just going off of my own schedule, which is, when it's the most convenient. Well, let's just pretend that, you know, we still have plenty of time to get. In any case, yeah, it's just like any other Sunday morning, although with a notable absence of having to go to church. Instead, well, I mean, I was still going to church, but not for the usual praise and worship and lessons and all that jazz. Instead, it's because a whole lot of my other friends were, you know, gonna be there. But you're probably wondering, well, why were your friends there? Because, today would be a day that I will never forget. Something that, saying it now sounds kind of cheesy, but bear with me here. This was a place that you wouldn't want to miss until it's too late. My humble history with this place starts technically in 2004, which was when I was originally going to go, but unfortunately, by the time I turned old enough to go, the deadline to sign up for going had already elapsed, so I wasn't able to go. So, you may remember last year when I made a stream saying that last year was the 20th anniversary. I was technically incorrect, but that was only because of the fact that I knew very little about, anything, like about the whole history of how I got signed up and stuff. But thankfully, now I know. Anyway, as we make our way to the church, just wanted to say, we're in for one hell of a ride. Or I guess if we're going by the point of view, I think you can tell my brain is like scrambled right now, just excited about all this stuff. So, gonna be out of character real quick, which I have been out of character for a little while. This series will not have that much profanity. In fact, I'm going to keep it to a minimum, as in not at all. Basically, this whole 5-day series is meant to be from the point of view of my 8-year-old self. Think of it like traveling back in time, but you grow younger as you travel back. So, you know, pretending that's the year 2005, that was when I was 8 years old, you get the gist. Anyway, so, I hear you asking, well, what was at the church that you were so excited about? That's the thing, since this was my first time going to the camp, I wasn't expecting to see this in the parking lot. 2 of those. That, my friends, is a coach bus. You're probably wondering, a coach bus? What's so special about that? Well, let me to elaborate. The reason why I always liked buses like that is because of the summer camp trip. Every single year that I went, we always rode that bus. Which, you might think, oh, okay, well, what's so special about it? Well, first, whenever I got here, I would have a whole bunch of friends hanging out here, several church staff. Obviously, for clarity, our church did not have a nearby cemetery at all. The nearest cemetery was in a a city that was close to the city I was living in, uh, but we didn't have one ourselves. And obviously, the church building itself did not look anything like this. And in yesterday's stream, I initially said that the Diamond Casino and Resort would be acting as the church because it has a very peculiar shape. I know that's not a weird joke. It's just the building itself is kind of weirdly shaped. But I later decided against it and just went with this because, why would you want to use a casino as a church? But, yeah, so after we got here, me and my papa, he would meet up with the other staff members and, family people, the parents and stuff, their guardians. And meanwhile, us students, us kiddos, would go inside eventually to get our heads checked for lice. Now, if someone did have lice, then they wouldn't be able to go, so they would have to miss out on the entire trip. However, if you didn't have lice, which was the case for me on all 5 years that I went, after the head check was completed, we would go back outside, and I believe how this all worked is that they would let the bus drivers know that we were having our heads checked, and then they would let them know when that was done. After that, um, the buses would pull up to the front, which obviously for this you're not able to do that, so that's why I have it parked out in the parking lot over there. So after that, the buses would be pulled up in front of the church. Like I said, there were two of them, one for the boys, one for the girls. And it was then that we were allowed to load in our luggage, our sleeping bags, whatever other things that we had with us. And after that, we would gather around in a big prayer circle to, pray to God that, hey, we would all be safe, we would all have fun, things would be fine, etc., etc. So, yeah, after that, what would happen is uh, the staff would lead us inside the buses, and, we would sit in whatever seat that we wanted. There was no assigned seating at all for the bus rides whatsoever. It wasn't like, hey, you sit here, you sit here, you sit here. No, 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 no. It was simply just sit wherever you want. And some people sat at the like rear of the bus, like the back, because it was closest to the bathroom. Which yes, it had a built-in bathroom. Which no, you couldn't go number two, only number one. Trust me, we don't want to have any accidents. So, yeah. Just checking. Yeah, so once we got on the bus, we would have a roll call. So we would have everyone call their, you know, attendance whenever they had their name called. So someone would either say here or present, which I kid you not, that was actually my first time I had ever heard someone say present before for a roll call. And so at first I was like, wait, does that mean they have a present for someone? And that was when they were still doing the roll call, but I didn't say it quickly. I didn't say it loudly. I just said it to a friend of mine who was sitting next to me. And they said, oh no, it just means that they're there. Like when someone says that they're present, it means that they are, like, here, like, with us. So, yeah. And so I said present, and I was half thinking, oh, they're probably going to take it as a joke, but no, they took it seriously. But after all that was done, we would wait for the other bus to give us the word that they were done, and then after that, um, that was it. the buses would close their doors and we would wave goodbye to the uh, families that were waving goodbye to us, you know, all that jazz. And so would begin the trip to camp. So for this next part of the stream, we're going to be leaving the parking lot, and I gave it much thought about how I was going to be doing this. Here's how it's going to go. We're going to exit from here, go down this road, and I know I initially said we were going to be going on the Great Ocean Highway. We're actually going to go this way, and the reason being is simply because of the fact that well, it's a pretty long distance. Like, this seems like a very road trippy thing to do. So, yeah. And so, this is the route that we're going to be taking. Because it's all one continuous road. And then we're going to be stopping here at the diner before continuing through Paleto Bay. And then eventually be turning here. So this is what I would consider the Dry Gulch Road part. So like the very last part. It's just this long stretch of road that goes throughout here until we get to here. Alright, so we're all ready. Let's get back to being in character, shall we? Man, that was long. Alright, looks like we still have plenty of time. Yeah. Hey, BC, you made it. You excited? Yeah, sure am. That's good. Alright, did you see the buses out there? Yeah, I've never seen something like that before. Well, you're gonna enjoy it. Anyway, would you mind going inside with the others? You're about to have your heads checked for lice. What are lice? It's basically like a bug that kind of eats in your hair and stuff. You know? Okay. And they said I didn't have any. Well, that's good. That means you get to go to camp. Not too long now. For the others, and you'll see the buses pull out. So, what's the place we're going to again? It's a place called Dry Gulch, USA. It's up in Oklahoma. I think you'll really like it. It's good. I miss you, Papa. I missed you too, buddy. It's gonna be fun, though. Yeah. I think you'll like it. I've been there a few times with some of the students. Hmm. Alright, looks like everyone's ready. Um, if y'all would please get your bags and sleeping bags and whatever else you're bringing and bring them over to the buses. We have two, one for the girls and one for the boys. So, boys, put your bags in your bus, girls, put your bags in your bus, and then come back here for a prayer circle. Okay. Yes. Hey, BC, do you need any help? No. Alright. There we go. There was a lot of clothing and stuff. Yep. But hey, that's a good thing. That means you're prepped and ready to go. Yeah. I think we should all get back to the church so that way we can do the prayer. Hmm. Yeah, I think let's circle into a prayer and that's it. All right, there we go. Well, you all get in your buses, and we're gonna have not a head check, but a roll call. I'm sure if you go to daycares around here, you might know what that is. Right. After that, it's off to the races. We're gonna miss y'all. Pastor, I want you all to have fun and be safe. Hmm. Alright, let's get the roll call. You see? Present. I miss everyone. I just had a character real quick. I hope you all understand why I'm doing moments of silence. It's because of the fact that I want it to feel like it's like a, not really a time skip, but more so just like, you know, it's implied that the roll call goes on while the moment of silence is happening. So it's like people already are getting their names called. So, yeah. Anyway, back on topic. Alright. Now we're gonna wait for. Alright, they're all ready. Let's hit the road. We're ready to go, guys. Hey, don't worry, we got plenty of movies and TV shows and stuff for y'all to watch. Let's get on out there. That's it. After all that stuff, which was a fairly lengthy process, but nothing too long. We got the right old 3 wins. Beautiful church that we went to. Now, off to a place that forever changed my life. Partially because of, spiritual stuff, but also because of the fact that I still think about it even nowadays as a 28-year-old. But we're not talking about my 28-year-old self, we're talking about my 8-year-old self. So, I started off the same way each time. We went out to the main road that the church was in front of. Like, alongside. And after that, we took a U-turn, or in this case, a left turn. And that was it. We would head onto the highway. And thus begins the long, not so treacherous journey of a trip to Dry Village. During this time that, we talked to each other about what to expect, because we knew very little about this place for us first times. We were only told some of the stuff we can expect. We listened to the theme song for the year. We were told where the camp was, but none of us had ever actually been out of state. Well, again, for us first timers. So for this is my first time ever being out of state. But since then, I've gone to plenty of other states in my time. But, Anyway, let's focus on the then, not the now. Hey, do you guys like Looney Tunes? Yeah, we do. Yeah? We got a few DVDs of it, so if you guys want to watch it, raise your hand. If you guys want to watch Toy Story 2, raise your hand. Majority says Looney Tunes, so we'll watch that first, but as a consolation, we'll watch Toy Story 2 after. Something funny, BC? No, it's just whenever I was really, really little, like a baby, I used to watch this with my mom around. I was feel watching it again. Just feels like 6 years ago. Onto the highway, no more stoplights. It's gonna be so cool. BC, what are you most excited about? What do you mean? This is my second time going, so I could tell you what to expect. Or do you want to be surprised? I guess surprise me. Trust me, this place is something that you're not going to want to forget. How long will it take to get there? With the route we're taking, we'll be there by, I think 4 p.m. maybe? Around 5? Yeah. Of course, at our halfway point, we're going to be stopping by McDonald's in Oklahoma to eat lunch, so I think you guys got some money for that. Remember, we asked y'all to have money for your lunch on the way to there and on the way home, along with money for the store that they have at the okay. That must be the entire DVD. You like it? BC did. Yeah, I did. Well, as promised, let's watch some Toy Story 2, shall we? though I think some of our students are a little pumped out. Yeah, that tends to be that way whenever it's a big old trip like this. Hey, looks like we're in Oklahoma. Yep. Takes a couple of hours to get there, but once we're there, we're there. All we need to do is get to a place called Durant. Oh, is that where the McDonald's is? Yep. We're going to be stopping there on the way to camp, and I believe on the way home. So that'll be a few days from now. Yeah. Well, maybe everyone. Yeah, I think I'll just be, I'll get a Happy Meal. Yeah, makes sense. I'll always love your Happy Meals. Yeah. Really wish they'd make some for adults, though. That's, everyone deserves to be happy. Maybe one day maybe one day they'll make that. I think for now, I think y'all kiddos should be more happy than us. Even though we're already happy just going with y'all and having fun. Yeah. Japan? No, 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 no. I can't go to Japan. No, no. I gotta get back to my home. I gotta get home and go to my owner, ain't he? I still remember when I saw this movie whenever I was 2 years old. Oh, right, you were born in '97, weren't you? Yeah, one of the first things I remembered. That was nice. Alright, looks like we're approaching the ranch, so you have your money handy, so don't worry. We'll also come to you whenever it's time for y'all to go shopping at the general store at camp, and we'll give you your envelopes for the return trip. Okay. Alright, everyone accounted for? Yeah. It's tasty. Mm-hmm. Alright, boys and girls are accounted for. Let's get back on the buses and make sure we're doing good on time. Oh, cool, it carries on from where it left off. Mm-hmm. What? It's so cool how people make buses like this. Yep, I'm getting to see movies and stuff. Oh, speaking of movies, you guys ever heard of Agent Cody Banks? I think I might have seen that a little bit. Actually, no, I think I might have taken it. Well, then we get to see it again. Although, with how good we're making on time, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to see the entire thing by the time we get to. Okay. PC is all pumped out. I can imagine you didn't sleep well last night. You must have been so excited. Good thing is, we're just about there. Well, just about. How long have I been out? We're out for a while, but we're on the long stretch of road that lead us to the camp. So yeah. Hmm. At the time, I think we'll be getting them. I think we'll be getting there around dinner time. So if you guys are ready, the students that we've had going with us in the past have said that the food here is like really good. So yeah, so I just get ice cubes with robots in it stuck down his mouth? Yep. Oh, pretty violent for a kids movie. Yeah, but it'd be a cool movie. Hmm. So, how much further? The stretch of road goes for 8 miles, so we're just about there. One long stretch of road then. Yep.
Hello there.
It was around this time that I started to realize all this an- all this anticipation better be worth it. And sure enough, we'll find out sooner or later that the wait was well worth it. We approached the entry point for the awesome summer camp that will forever change my life. I started to think about what to expect. What activities, what kind of cool people I'm going to meet, what things I'm going to learn about, what wacky adventures I might get into, so on and so forth. But it won't be long before I find out all the answers to all those lingering questions I had at the moments. Because in the distance, I see a bunch of trees, a sign that says, "Enter here." Rivals USA plastered next to it, which is obviously a sign that big things are going to be happening. Hey, y'all two from the church in Texas? This one? Yep, these are them. Alright, just go ahead and park ahead. We'll get your bags and we'll get you all situated in whatever dorms you're gonna be in. Alright, thank you. Hey, welcome to Dry Gulch. I think you guys are really gonna like it here. If it's your first time here, then welcome. If it's your repeat time being here, then welcome back. And hopefully it's not gonna be the last time. What does that mean? There's an age range of this place, so our minimum age is 7 years old. Our maximum age is 12, so how old are you, friend? 8. Right, so you'll have like 5 visitors here, I think. So, yeah, alright. Well, with that said, uh, let's get your bags and take you on a tour, take you to your dorms, your cabins, whatever you want to call them, and that's it. First things first, we're gonna need to get your heads checked for lice.
I like turtles.
What the hell ever?
Alright, looks like you're all done. Your medication, leave it here. We're gonna take it up to the nurse's office in case you need to take it. And yeah, that'll take you all to your dorms.
You said it.
At this point, the trip was officially finished. Well, yeah? Zach. I'm gonna have to cut it short. Anyway, trip is done. Tomorrow, day 2.